Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel once again. Thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed, all 80 of you. Thank you for showing me love, thank you for all the comments and just words of encouragement. I really appreciate it. I'm sure you're wondering why this episode is called how my 4 months in isolation has changed my life. Let me take you through it. I hope you really do enjoy. I hope you get inspired, and I hope this really changes your perspective to life and encourages you to just press on, don't stop, pursue your dreams and become whatever it is that you want to become. Growing up as a kid, one of the few things that attracted me to the profession is that once you finish with your articles, you get an opportunity to spend a few months abroad. I've always known this, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. I always looked up to, completing my articles, because I know that I'd get seconded, I'd get a chance to go overseas and live a dream, and for free. Basically, I wouldn't have to pay for anything, but whatever firm that I'd be working for at that particular time would cover all the costs. So that was something that I really wanted to do. I went on to do my articles, and in my third year of articles, I didn't get the opportunity to do it, and it's always haunted me that I haven't achieved that one thing. I haven't experienced that one thing that drew me to the profession. And so when I finished my articles, I went to work somewhere else, but then the place I went to didn't offer such opportunities, and I thought that I should go back to my old employer just to pursue this dream, because it was haunting me so much. I felt like I was missing something in my life. So I then went back, and I was fortunate enough last year in November, I was fortunate to get this opportunity to go abroad and spend 4 months there. So that's what I call my 4 months in isolation. So yeah, my secondment opportunity finally located me last year. It was late, but eventually it came after I had to make the decision of leaving my job and going back to my previous employer. So let me be honest and say that before I got this opportunity to go spend 4 months abroad, I was so broken, I was depressed, I was demotivated. And the reason for that is I had gone through so much in just 1 year. There had been so many changes in my life, and I didn't get the opportunity to sit down and take it all in, to sit down and adapt to the change. If I may just count the number of events that had happened in just that 1 year. I had gotten married. I already mentioned that I had to move jobs, so I left my previous job to start a new one. I had school on the side, which was not easy. I lost 2 very important and very close people to me that I really loved dearly, and you know what death can do to a person. I think that's the one thing that really broke me, and I was just so broken, and my relationship with God was just all over the place. Let me just say, I was hurt for the longest time. I was hurt and disappointed that God did not come through for me, and I felt like He was just not seeing me, and He was just not giving me what I wanted. And at that time, I know someone might say, what do you mean, because you had just gotten such a huge opportunity? I saw that opportunity, but I was still not satisfied because of all the hurts that I was going through at that time. So at that time, I was also a bit reluctant, because here I am, I'm leaving everyone in South Africa. I'm going to a whole new country, different people, different culture. I was going with a few colleagues that I knew who are now my friends, but I was so uncertain. I didn't know how to feel, basically. So the first thing that I did when I got to America was to seek God's face. I was also intentional about that. When I got there, I kneeled down and I went to Him, and I was like, God, here I am. Thank you for this lovely opportunity, putting me in isolation. The first thing that I want to say to you is that I need you in my life. I've reached my max now, and I just need you to intervene. I need you to come close to me again. I need that relationship. I need that father-daughter relationship restored. And I do acknowledge that I sort of neglected you for the past year, and I wasn't hearing your voice. So when January came, usually we participate in the Daniel's fast in January. But you know how it is, like when you're so used to doing something, it just becomes doing it for the sake of finishing. So this time around I felt a bit different about how the fasting was supposed to take place. So I started writing down my fasting objectives, and in those objectives there was literally like 4 things. All I said was that, God, I want to be restored with you. I want a brand new relationship with you. Going forward, I want to hear your voice, and I want to live in your will. I don't want to do things according to what I think or what someone else thinks, but I want to do things according to what you say. As part of the fasting, I told myself that I was going to also fast social media. Apart from just food, I told myself that I want to just, shut out distractions, because really social media can be a big distraction in how we communicate with God. And I was encouraged to do this because I knew that when I'm alone, all I do is go on my phone, check on Instagram, check WhatsApp, and I didn't want that situation. So I didn't have social media for the 21 days. And wow, I even feel overwhelmed as I start to speak about this. When I started in the first week, I could already tell that I'm getting transformed. Like, I was sitting every day in the morning devotion and spending time with God, and then just sitting and meditating and reading the word and trying to open my spiritual ears again so I can hear from God. And it's amazing how really God can speak if we let him speak. Like, if you give him the platform and you clear your heart, you clear your mind, he really can speak. And in the 21 days, he renewed me. He also affirmed me in such a way that all of the things that I used to doubt, like I always felt like I wasn't pure enough to have a relationship with God. I always felt like I'm just not doing enough to be to have that kind of a bond with him. But he assured me and let me know that, you know what, I love you even in your imperfections, even when you don't do as I expect or as I've instructed in my word, but I still love you, and my love for you is unconditional. So those are the kind of affirmations that I got. Like, when I had questions about even the future, just what he has planned for me, he would answer and he would give me guidance. He would, in a 21 days, bring people that will, confirm the things that he said to me, but use other people that are external to bring about the same message. That's why I want to just encourage you that if you're going through a phase in your life where you feel like, you know what, I'm not connected with God, or even it might be that you're angry with God because he hasn't answered certain prayers, I want to just urge you to go into a place of like just seeking for him, seeking for his face. Just ask him to reconnect with you and get into the habit of doing things the way he wants you to do it, because he's the one that knows our plans, and I think God is quite clear about how he wants to see us as his kids. He says, I know the plans that I have for you, and since I'm the one that has the plan and you don't, let me be the one that guides you through everything. So that's where I found myself after the 21 days. I realized that actually, you know what, I've been doing it all wrong. All I have to do now is ask for God's guidance in everything that I do. After that encounter that I had with Christ, like, I started seeing change in my life. All the hurt that I had based on the other events that I've described earlier just started fading off, and I started seeing positivity everywhere that I went, in the way that I did things. I started reaping positivity, and I was just so eager to become that person. I was just so eager to become happy again. And I started regaining new habits now, and like the first habit that I did is to pick up a book and start reading. I've never been a reader before. The only books that I've ever read were like my textbooks and all of that, and the only reason why I did that is because I knew that I had to do it to pass. But just me picking up a book to read to obtain knowledge, I've never been that type of a person. But for the first time, I picked up a book and I read it and finished it. So by the time in March, when I had to leave and come back home, I had finished 3 books. So that means that I basically did a book every month. I've always known that reading is good for you, and I've always wanted to do it, but I just, for the life of me, couldn't get myself to pick up a book and start reading. So I was shocked how I was just reading. In my free time, instead of grabbing my phone and checking what's happening on social media, I'd pick up a book and read, and I'd really enjoy that. I'd enjoy my own company more. And reading on its own has changed my perspective to life. It has transformed my thinking altogether. So reading to me just brought a whole lot of knowledge, positivity. I saw things differently, and from that day on, I've never stopped reading. Now we're in May, and like I'm just reading, and I can't stop myself. To think that like all this time I was putting myself at such a disadvantage by not reading actually hurts me. So if you're not a reader, I would like to encourage you again to be intentional about wanting to read to bring about a change in your life, because I'm one person to attest that it's definitely changed me. It's changed the way I see things. It's increased my confidence. Like, to be honest, that's why you see my face. That's why I'm talking in front of you today, because I've just gained the confidence to do so. In the period of the 4 months, I went through a journey of self-awareness, just knowing who I am. Because of all these things that we go through, sometimes we get this cloud that just covers who we really are. So I went through a journey of really being deliberate to know who I am. And that has helped me so much in bringing my confidence. It has helped me so much in just being more positive about the future, and letting myself know that, you know what, I've got the potential, and I know I have what it takes to be what I want to become. My attitude towards people and, how I react to people also changed immensely. For some reason, I wanted to share more love, and I wanted to just, inspire people more, tell people they're beautiful, comment, pictures on Instagram, comment on their posts, encourage people. And that's an energy that I didn't have for the longest of time. And that is my nature, but for some reason, I had lost it along the way. So once I started discovering myself more and being satisfied with who I was, I started exerting this energy onto other people, and I didn't even care what the next person thought of me. I didn't even care if I got a response from them or not, but I was just showing people love, and just, to me, it brought so much satisfaction to encourage the next person and tell them and just speak life into their life. This is something so small, but I learned how to swim in grade 8. When I arrived in high school, but for some reason I've never jumped into a pool and started swimming. I've never had the confidence to do that. During this time, I challenged myself to conquer this fear of water, and I started swimming while I was in America after I don't know how many years. And that just gave me courage. Like, it's something so small, but it gave me courage, and it made me realize how usually we just like nurturing our fears. We like feeding our fears, and that's not the right way of living. That's not how God intends for us to live our lives. He says He wants us to live lives that are courageous and not full of fear. And that was the greatest realization, because after that, I started doing all of the things that I've always been scared to do, but I want to do it deep down. I launched this YouTube channel because I wanted to do it, but for some reason I was just so scared of how people would perceive me, if people would like me or not. But I just did it because I wanted to do it without worrying what the next person thought. It's also amazing how my positivity also changed my relationships. Like, I'll start with my marriage. It completely transformed. The minute I was more positive about life, I just changed my perspective towards marriage, and I started seeing wonderful things, and we were so happy. Like, I know it was a bit rough because of everything that we were both going through, but immediately when we tapped into this zone of happiness and positivity, we were transformed, and it's almost like we restarted our marriage, and it's been amazing since then. It also made me realize and acknowledge and appreciate the people that I really love. I started, telling people that, you know what, I actually love you. I need you in my life, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me, and like, I hope and I pray that God keeps you so that we can live long. I started doing that, and like, saying those things to someone else would make them feel so happy, and they'd also be eager to get more involved and show you more love. And that's like one thing that I think I lacked a lot, because my love language is affirmations, words of affirmations, and I feel like I've always wanted to receive affirmations, but I wasn't one to also give affirmations. So that also is something that I intentionally changed, to affirm people more, so that I can get the affirmations that keep me going, because now this is my love language, this is how I receive love, and if I have this in abundance, then I'll be happier. So like I've mentioned, that the one thing that really broke me earlier on in the year was just the issue of death. After losing my aunt and my dad, who were like so close to me, and I really, really loved them, that broke me, and it made me see life differently. I was demotivated, I was depressed, I believe mostly because of that. So I went to God and I asked Him to help me, because I'm tired of hurting because of this thing. And I told Him that I'm just tired of crying because of this thing, and I want to be comforted. I want to let go. I want to release this pain without forgetting about the people, but just, release the pain and restart my life, because I'm left here and I'm leaving, and I've got, I don't know how many years ahead of me, and I still have that opportunity to, transform and become better. So my understanding of death has been transformed. Like, I see it, I understand that some things are the will of God, and they happen because He has allowed them to happen, not because He hates me or He doesn't love me or any silly reason, but it solely happens because the time had come, and He has allowed it to come because it's part of His will. And I see more of an opportunity to renew myself, and an opportunity to grow closer to Him. So that's how that's the message that I got in my journey of healing. So I've really healed. When I look at myself now, I'm shocked how healed I am. Like, a lot has happened until today, but I'm just so shocked of how I now respond to issues of death, and like understanding God's will and how He plans our lives. Last thing that I'd say came as a benefit in my time in America must be the traveling. So I got to travel a lot of places, and traveling on its own completely changes your perspective. It makes you see a side of the world that you've never seen before, that you never knew existed. The way people live and the way people are just so happy inspires you to, want to live that life. It inspires you to go back home and work hard so that you go back on those Beverly Hills streets and be one of those that are driving on those Ferraris. You know what I mean? So that was just, to me, the cherry on top. The traveling was just the cherry on top, because it just brought more positivity and encouraged me to go back home and just put my head down and work towards my dreams. Seeing those tall, electrifying buildings in New York, and those lovely beaches in New York, and the luxurious lives that people are living in Beverly Hills, it just made me feel so encouraged. It made me feel so eager to go back home and work hard to achieve my dreams. To me, it just confirmed that, God is there and God can do whatever it is that I ask him to do, only if I listen to him and do things according to what he wants me to do. And seeing how people are living their lives out there made me realize that, you know what, girl, you have a lot of work to do. Go back home and work even harder to, become whatever it is that you dream to be. Go back home and dream some more. And now that you know how life is supposed to be, go back home and reestablish those dreams again, and the sky is the limit. So my time in isolation really strengthened me. It made me stronger as a person. It made my relationships stronger. It made me see life differently. It changed my mindset to becoming a more positive mindset. And going through that, I didn't know that God was preparing me for this huge storm that was waiting for me when I got home. So the main storm that was waiting for me when I got home was that 2 weeks after I had arrived in South Africa, I was informed that my grandfather passed away, and I had to obviously go to Mpumalanga to attend the funeral. But just traveling to Mpumalanga during lockdown on its own was a mission, and having to go through the funeral during lockdown was also another mission. But God was good there. We managed to do that, and I was so happy that I was able to at least bury my grandfather. I came back on time to attend the funeral, and all the proceedings went well. On the day of the funeral, a few hours after we buried my grandfather, my grandmother followed within a few hours, literally. That was a blow. I feel like that could have easily broken me. It could have easily taken me back to where I was before I went to America. But I surprised myself. Maybe for a few days, obviously after processing it, I went through that phase again. But God was just amazing in how he brought me back up and reminded me of that encounter that we had in America. He reminded me of who he is. He reminded me that you said you wanted me to be in your life and you wanted me to dominate. This is an opportunity for you to see how great I can be. And just realizing that and being aware of it made me deal with the situation differently. I feel like I dealt with it way better than I would have if I didn't have this encounter. And I'm just so grateful. Even today when I look back, I'm so grateful of what God has done in my life, and him returning and residing permanently has really created a new person in me. I really hope that sharing my story with you has encouraged you, and you're more eager to live life now. I hope you take on the habits that I've spoken about, like the habit of reading, just of the habit of maintaining a positive life. I hope you can adapt those things, because really they have changed my life. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope to see you on my next YouTube video. Feel free to like the video and drop your comments. Let's engage, let's get to know each other. Let me know whatever it is that you're going through, and if you can relate to the story that I just shared. I really, really appreciate you. From me, it's nothing but love. See you on the next video.